Hello, devoted fans of Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to another electrifying edition of TV Days Drama Digest, where we dive headfirst into the heart-pounding, tear-jerking, and jaw-dropping twists that keep us glued to our screens. Today, we're unraveling the tangled web of secrets, betrayals, and courtroom chaos surrounding the shooting of EJ DiMera. At the center of this maelstrom is Dr. Marlena Evans, whose cryptic knowledge could either save or doom those she loves. Will Marlena finally admit the truth about who shot EJ? Buckle up, because this tale of loyalty, deception, and raw emotion is about to take you on a wild ride through the streets of Salem. The air in Salem is thick with tension as the trial of the decade unfolds. EJ DiMera, the charismatic yet ruthless scion of the DiMera dynasty, lies in a hospital bed, recovering from a near-fatal gunshot wound. The question on everyone's lips: who pulled the trigger? The courtroom is a battlefield, with accusations flying like shrapnel and relationships crumbling under the weight of hidden truths. At the heart of this drama is Marlena, the town's beloved psychiatrist, whose calm demeanor hides a storm of secrets. Could she hold the key to unraveling this mystery, or is she protecting someone or something too dangerous to reveal? Belle's relentless pursuit of justice. The drama kicks into high gear as Belle Black, Salem's fierce and unyielding attorney, takes center stage. Known for her razor-sharp wit and unshakable moral compass, Belle is determined to uncover the truth about the night EJ was shot. Her first target? Rachel Black, her own daughter, whose trembling voice and wide-eyed fear hint at a story she's desperate to keep buried. In a heart-wrenching scene, Belle corners Rachel in their cozy living room, the soft glow of a lamp casting long shadows across the room. The air is heavy with unspoken dread as Belle kneels before her daughter, her voice gentle but firm. "Rachel, sweetheart," Belle says, her eyes searching her daughter's face, "you were there that night. You saw something, didn't you? I need you to tell me the truth." Rachel's hands twist nervously in her lap, her small frame shaking as tears well in her eyes. The weight of her testimony could send Johnny DiMera, her beloved brother, to prison for a crime he may or may not have committed. The camera lingers on Rachel's anguished expression, her loyalty to Johnny warring with her fear of betraying him. "Mom, I can't," she whispers, her voice breaking. "If I tell you, everything will fall apart." Belle's heart aches, but her resolve doesn't waver. She knows the truth is a double-edged sword, capable of cutting through lies, but also shattering the fragile bonds of family. As Rachel's sobs echo through the room, Belle presses harder, her questions growing sharper, more insistent. The scene is a masterclass in emotional stakes, with every word dripping with the pain of a mother torn between protecting her child and seeking justice. Will Rachel crack under the pressure, or will she cling to her silence, shielding Johnny at all costs? EJ's betrayal and Belle's fury as the trial looms, the drama escalates with a devastating confrontation between Belle and EJ. The two have a complicated history, their once-close bond frayed by years of mistrust and betrayal. In a dimly lit hospital corridor, Belle confronts EJ, her eyes blazing with righteous anger. "You're dead to me," she hisses, her voice low and venomous. The words land like a physical blow, and EJ's face, usually a mask of smug confidence, crumples for a fleeting moment. The betrayal in question? EJ's ruthless tactics in court, where he twisted Belle's words to paint her as an unreliable witness, undermining her credibility to save his own skin. Belle's declaration isn't just a dramatic flourish, it's a line in the sand. She storms out of the hospital room, her heels clicking sharply against the linoleum floor, leaving EJ alone with his thoughts. The camera pans to his face, capturing the flicker of regret in his eyes before it hardens into defiance. Back at his lavish penthouse, EJ's composure unravels. In a fit of rage, he sweeps a crystal decanter off his desk, the glass shattering into 1,000 glittering shards. "She thinks she can turn her back on me," He roars to an empty room, his voice echoing with a mix of hurt and fury. "I'm a DiMera. I don't need her." This tantrum is more than a moment of petulance. It's a window into EJ's fractured psyche. Beneath his polished exterior lies a man haunted by his own choices, desperate to maintain control in a world that's slipping through his fingers. The scene is a stark reminder of the cost of betrayal in Salem, where loyalty is both a currency and a curse. The courtroom clash, EJ versus Kristen as the trial resumes. The courtroom becomes a crucible of conflict, with EJ at its center. His recovery hasn't dulled his edge. If anything, it's sharpened his resolve to control the narrative. Enter Kristen DiMera, EJ's cunning and unpredictable sister, whose testimony could either bolster his case or blow it apart. The two lock eyes across the courtroom, their shared history crackling like static in the air. Kristen, ever the wild card, takes the stand with a smirk, her designer heels clicking with deliberate menace. EJ, acting as his own attorney, launches into a blistering cross-examination, his questions sharp and calculated. "Isn't it true, Kristen," he says, his voice dripping with condescension, "that you've always resented my position in the family? That you'd do anything to see me fall?" Kristen's eyes narrow, but her smile doesn't waver. "Oh, EJ," she purrs, leaning forward, "if I wanted you gone, you wouldn't be standing here playing lawyer." The exchange is electric, a verbal fencing match that leaves the jury and the audience on edge. Kristen's testimony dances around the truth, her words laced with just enough ambiguity to keep everyone guessing. Does she know more than she's letting on? Is she protecting EJ or setting him up for a fall? The tension between the siblings is palpable, a reminder of the DiMera family's penchant for playing dangerous games with each other's lives. Chanel's testimony and Johnny's rebellion. As the trial barrels toward its climax, Chanel Dupree takes the stand, her poised exterior masking a storm of nerves. Chanel's involvement in the case is murky, tied to a heated argument with EJ just hours before the shooting. Her testimony is a tightrope walk, each word carefully chosen to avoid implicating herself or Johnny, her husband. But EJ, ever the strategist, pushes her to the brink, his questions designed to expose any cracks in her story. Johnny, watching from the gallery, grows increasingly agitated. His fists clench as EJ's tactics grow more aggressive, painting Chanel as an unreliable witness with a motive to lie. The camera cuts to Johnny's face, his jaw tight, his eyes burning with a mix of love for Chanel and fury at his father. When EJ insinuates that Chanel might have been involved in the shooting, Johnny leaps to his feet, his voice booming through the courtroom. "That's enough, Dad," he shouts, drawing gasps from the onlookers. "You're crossing a line, and I'm done with this." The outburst is a turning point, a public rejection of EJ's ruthless methods. Backstage, Johnny confronts his father, his voice low but searing. "You're not just fighting for yourself. You're tearing us all apart," he says, his words heavy with disappointment. The rift between father and son deepens, and whispers circulate that Johnny might push to have EJ removed from the case entirely. The stakes couldn't be higher, as the DiMera family teeters on the edge of implosion. Marlena's secret. A theory unraveled at the heart of this drama lies Marlena, whose quiet strength and enigmatic presence anchor the story. Belle, still reeling from her confrontation with EJ, turns her attention to her mother, sensing that Marlena knows more than she's letting on. In a gripping scene set in Marlena's warmly lit office, Belle confronts her, the air thick with unspoken accusations. "Mom, you've been too quiet," Belle says, her voice trembling with a mix of frustration and desperation. "You know something about who shot EJ, don't you? Why are you protecting them?" Marlena's face is a mask of calm, but her eyes betray a flicker of unease. She leans back in her chair, her hands folded tightly in her lap. "Belle, I've spent my life listening to people's secrets," she says carefully. "But I don't have all the answers." Yet under Belle's relentless questioning, Marlena's resolve begins to crack. She admits to a theory, one born from her expertise as a psychiatrist and her intimate knowledge of Salem's tangled relationships. "I've been thinking about EJ's hypnosis sessions," Marlena reveals, her voice barely above a whisper. "During one of our sessions, he mentioned fragments, images from that night. A shadow in the alley, a flash of metal. And Rachel. She said something to me in passing, something about seeing someone she trusted near the crime scene." Marlena's words hang in the air, heavy with implication. Has she pieced together the puzzle? Does she know who pulled the trigger but chosen to bury the truth to protect someone she loves? The camera lingers on Marlena's face, her expression a mix of guilt and determination. The revelation sends shockwaves through Belle, who realizes the weight of her mother's burden. Marlena's theory points to a suspect no one expected, but naming them could destroy everything she holds dear. Is she shielding Johnny, whose volatile temper has raised suspicions? Or is it someone else entirely, someone whose betrayal would shatter Salem's fragile peace? The weight of silence as the trial hurtles toward its conclusion, the question remains, will Marlena break her silence? The town of Salem is a pressure cooker, with every resident caught in the crossfire of loyalty and betrayal. Rachel's fear, Belle's fury, EJ's desperation, Kristen's scheming, Chanel's precarious testimony, and Johnny's rebellion all converge on Marlena, whose knowledge could tip the scales of justice or plunge Salem into chaos. The drama is far from over. Each episode peels back another layer of deception, revealing the raw, beating heart of a town where love and hate are two sides of the same coin. Will Marlena's theory lead to a shocking confession, or will she take her secret to the grave? One thing is certain. In Salem, the truth is never simple, and the cost of revealing it is always steep. Stay tuned, dear readers, as Days of Our Lives continues to deliver the kind of drama that keeps us coming back for more. What do you think Marlena's hiding? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.